Hey everyone, Cynthia Luhu here. I have some design team projects I'd like to share with you. These are for Anne's Paper Creations, and this DT package came with products from I Am Roses as well, so I used some of those too. So let me start by sharing this. This I made. It's for a telephone message center, and I used, I took one of the Michaels frames and I did a mold in my mold putty, and so this is a mold from that, and it's Fimo clay. And then I used an R77 and R21s, and this is what they look like. The R21s right here. Gorgeous flowers, and they're packaged perfectly, so you get them and they're just gorgeous. And then the R77s. And then Lindy Stamp Gang is also a sponsor of Anne's Paper Creations, and I used some saltwater taffy, which is part of the Nantucket Pearl set, but it's also available by itself, and I designed for Lindy Stamp Gang as well. So I used, I used Tea Time and Romance novel, so I'm thinking this one is, yeah, this one's romance novel. And this is a die cut from Lindy Stamp Gang. It's a clock. It's just gorgeous. And I used real crystals on here. I thought, you know, there wasn't going to be so many, and this will be a beautiful addition to the set, you know, next to your phone. And so there's a little pad inside. I just doubled these up like this. I put one on the front, one on the back, and I made it about 1 inch thick so it could stand up by itself, just like that. Well, it's on the, yeah, just like that. So here is the little notepad. Somebody wrote hi. Oh my gosh. It must have been my daughter. That's so funny. Okay, well, Aubrey says hi. And so I just took a bunch of pieces of paper, and I took this piece from the paper stack, and I put a bow on there and just punched a couple holes with my Crocodile and put it through there. So there's the little notepad. That's so cute. And then here's a pen that I altered, and that was really fun. You guys know I love to alter pens. And I just used some 4mm flatback pearls from Carla 001, as well as some of this beautiful Webster's trim from Carla 001. Some Venice lace from the Lace Mama, Humongous pearl, and then all I did was I glued the pearl on the very top of the pen, and then I took a piece of wire and glued it inside with some glossy accents. I wanted it to be a real strong, because, you know, this can, if it's hot glue, it just kind of slide out. And then I added a bead cap, another crystal, and then a couple more bead caps and a pearl. And I glued those all with glossy accents, just because hot glue, you know, really isn't going to hold up. So there is the pen, and I made a little teeny square. Here, let's pull the light out here more. There's a little teeny extra little box I added right here. Just a 3-sided box that I glued inside. And so the pen can just slide right down in there. Just like that. So that's my first project. For my second project, I made something very simple and quick. And this is the clock die that Anne carries in her store. And I just love the shape. I mean, the shape is just gorgeous. So I also had molded the Prima resin Shabby Chic treasures, I think they're called, and I used some black Fimo clay, and here's one of the frames, and then here, and then this little corner up here, and to make them shiny I just added a sealer on it. And then this is some beautiful lace that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I colored it with Midnight Rendezvous Raven Lindy Stamp Gang Starburst spray. And then added some beautiful I Am Roses. These little rosebuds here are BP/T30-151. Wow. And they're just so fun to put everywhere. They're just little guys. And then I used the R77s again, and then I also used these, which are R5-15. And I used the romance novel paper on this as well, and then just went around the edges with some silver flatback pearls, or gray or silver. And I also colored these with saltwater taffy. If you guys don't know, that is my favorite color from Lindy Stamp Gang right now. It fluctuates. It goes from, you know, but this has been my favorite for a while. So for my next project, I used the Tea Time collection from Prima, another new favorite. I also had molded the angels in the Shabby Chic Treasures, and so this is made out of Fimo. And I colored these with, I don't know if you can see the shimmer, but I colored them with Creme Brulee Cream. Used an R77 rose, and then this little clock face is from the Timeless collection by Teresa Collins. And then some flatback pearl, some lace. This is from Annie's Paper Creations, I think. And I also created like a little round, almost like a hat box for the back so that I could put an album in there, and then I put a big pearl so that it would stand up just right, just like that. Okay, so it opens like this, and for the door I just used a little ribbon to attach the door and put some Velcro here, and then there's a little album inside. So let me pull that out. And for the album I used coasters. And I had to cut them a little bit smaller, and if I would have thought about it, I would have made the hole bigger on this, because the hole is smaller than this, what comes on the die, and so I cut it bigger, but I should have cut it, you know, just a little bit bigger so that I could have just left the coasters the size they were, but it's okay, live and learn. So here's another Prima Shabby Chic Treasures resin, Lindy Stamp Gang frame, and I think these are for cameos, but you can use them for anything. Some little I Am Roses, and these are R8-15. I love these, and they're very inexpensive. All of Boomma's flowers are inexpensive. I use the Tea Time collection for this album too, and it just closes with a ribbon. And so here's the first 2 pages. I'm going to put my camera down so that, whoops, so I can show the album better. Okay, so I used Spellbinder's dies, the little tag dies, and some of the little roses from I Am Roses. And then one of the, these are the rosebuds. Did I give you guys that number yet? Yes, I did. Okay, so I just created a pocket and then put a little tag in there and slid that in. I knew that there wouldn't be, you know, a lot to this album just because it is such a tiny album. So here's the next 2 pages. I used the Spellbinder's die from Fancy Tags 3, I think it is. I have all of them. I love them. And just some bling and some flatback pearls from Saw Crafter. And look at the paper collection. The paper collection with the gray background, which is also part of the collection, just made the tags just pop. So I can put little teeny photos there. And I put a bow in between just to add a little bit more. And then here, I took 2 of these roses because they come with such a long stem. And then, let me zoom in a little bit. And I added some, they're just plastic crystals, but you really can't tell. I just put crystals on the stems, and then I twisted it at the bottom and glued it. And so I made a heart frame, and so I can put a photo back here. And then there's a little angel. It's a button that I molded, and that's Fimo clay. So very fun. I love doing stuff like that. And then here's another clock from Lindy Stamp Gang, and I used the real crystals for this too. I just love how it just is so blingy. And I also sprayed this with scintillating silver from Lindy Stamp Gang. And let's see, was there more Lindy's on here? I think I just used it on that. Okay, so that just ties back up. Let me tie this back up. And I will slide that back into the clock. There's so many things you guys can do with this shape, and it's so fun to work with and come up with so many different things. And And pop that back in there. So there's that one. I'm going to set that back there. Zoom out a bit and lift it up. Okay, so the next one is my favorite. I made a photo display, and I didn't use any papers. I just used a crackle paint. Let me make sure it fits in the frame. Okay, so I used some, let's turn it. Sorry, I gotta twist the camera a little bit. Okay, so I used some Venice lace from the Lace Mama. I got 14 yards of this stuff, and it's just gorgeous. And some of the Shabby Chic Prima Resin Treasures. I used the frame here, and then the little heart up here, and the heart banner down here, which you can't see because of the flowers. And then a couple angels over here, and one of the doors, and then one of the windows over here, and the angels. Those are just so fun to work with. And then I used some R21s, which are, well, I used some of these rosebuds. They're semi-open rosebuds. And the number for that is BP/T space 25 space dash space 152. Sorry about that. And then these pink flowers. They're R21-104. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous iron roses. And so I did a crackle paint on the back. I just painted it first with like a creamy brown, and then put the crackle medium on that, let that dry, and I used the folk art crackle medium, and then I went over it with the antique white paint, and then distressed the edges with walnut stain. I added some lace and some pearls here, so flat back pearls from Sock Crafter, and very, very, very simple project. So that is all of my projects for Ann's Paper Creations. I hope you guys like them and check her out. I'll put a link to Ann's Paper Creations in the description below, as well as a link to I Am Roses and Lindy Stamp Gangs, of course. And thanks for watching. Bye!